Okay, so welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Ginger Watton and I'm the Regional Sales Manager for Western Canada, and I am so excited for our Experience Isagenix call tonight. I have the absolute pleasure of being on the line with some amazing people, and I'm going to read our host's bio. But first of all, I'd just like to share a little bit about what I've learned about her in the past little while that I've been with Isagenix. Our host tonight is a completely genuine person. She is an influencer, a motivator. She will share with everybody. She is here honestly from her heart and just gives to all of the Isagenix people. So it's my pleasure to introduce to you Susan Sly, who is a best-selling author, speaker, trainer, and entrepreneur. She has appeared on CNN, CNBC, Fox, Lifetime Television, and CBN, the morning show in Australia, and been quoted in Forbes magazine online. Susan is the author of 7 books. Her book project with New York Times best-selling author Jack Canfield made 6 Amazon best-selling lists. Prior to Isagenix, she worked as a nutritional consultant and trainer, consulting to celebrity clients, including members of the Tragically Hip, the NHL superstar Kirk Mueller. Susan taught nutrition at St. Lawrence College in Kingston, guest lectured at Queen's University and George Brown College. She has completed the Boston Marathon 6 times and placed top 10 in the pro division of the Ironman triathlon in Malaysia. She is passionate about philanthropy and has dedicated a significant amount of time and money working to liberate girls from trafficking and invest in education to support women and girls who have survived trauma and abuse both domestically and overseas. She is a 17-star platinum, 20-star crystal executive, and the recipient of the President's Award, Global Ambassador Award, and Woman of the Year. She's a mother of 5 children and resides with her husband in Scottsdale, Arizona. She truly believes that we can have it all. So please give a warm welcome to Miss Susan Sly.
Well, thanks so much, Ginger. It is great to be here with everyone. And I want to acknowledge all of you because honestly, it takes a tremendous amount of time, effort, and energy to carve out just this half an hour to be here. And I know some of you have kids. If you have kids, just say yes in the chat box. Tell us how many. I love you guys too. My kids are actually eating dinner right now as I'm here. And I know a lot of you have a lot of life going on as well. So with that, I want to get started, acknowledge you. And if you're a guest here tonight, I want to say welcome. I know that you're probably wondering, okay, why am I really here? Someone invited me. Is this really for me? And I can promise you, and I apologize because if I do not do a good enough job up front sharing with you why Isagenix can benefit you and you make that decision, then that's not on you, that's on me, and I take 100% responsibility. So with that, I want to get started. So let me ask this question. So how many of you looked in the mirror, maybe not that long ago, and you thought, you know what, this isn't exactly what I was hoping to see? If that's you, just say yes in the chat box. And Ginger, you may have to change the slides. It was not changing for me, actually. And, you know, for myself, and a lot of you are saying yes. And, you know, I know for me as a mom of 5 kids, I guess over the years, there have been times when I did look in the mirror and I thought, you know, this isn't who I wanted to be. And some of it was health. I looked in the mirror, I thought, okay, there's some stretch marks there, or maybe, you know, I look a little tired. And some of it was other things in my life and going, you know what? I wanted to be at a different place in my life than I am right now. And when I was 29 years old, I looked in the mirror one day and I didn't like what I saw. And I wasn't happy with where I was in my life because I had gone from having this great professional career to getting sick, giving up on my dreams, and looking in the mirror and not even recognizing that person. But that wasn't the first time I looked in the mirror and saw that. There had been other times too. And I'll show you this photo of me from when I was 200 pounds. And on that day, I looked in the mirror and I looked at this woman and I thought, who is she? And yeah, that was me at 200 pounds. And it wasn't like this just happened that I woke up one day and I was 200 pounds. It had been creeping up on me slowly. I had been in a very toxic relationship. I had drowned out my emotions with food. And if you're taking notes, go ahead and write this down. Whatever we suppress, we are ultimately going to express. And so instead of dealing with what I needed to deal with and making some tough decisions, I just stuffed the emotions down with food. And unfortunately, my friends, filling the hole, it's a hole you're never going to be able to fill with donuts or cookies or chips. I'm Canadian, so I say chips, French fries or whatever it is. And there I was, just graduating from university and going, who is this person? But here's the funny thing. I was actually running when this photo was taken 10 kilometers a day. I was, power walking. I was working out. I was going to aerobics classes, but this was still me. And sometimes if you're taking note, and over the course of time, I've worked with people like the Tragically Hip were my clients when I was in Canada, Kirk Miller, the hockey player. I've worked with physicians and all kinds of different people and everyday folks, that there is some weight that's physical. It's from the choices we're making. And there's some weight that's emotional, which is also from the choices we're making. If this makes sense, say yes, right? If you can relate. So, from this position, I made some decisions in my life that I was going to take my health to a whole new level. And so I started working out harder. I started eating right. I dropped 50 pounds. And so I was like, I was pretty much feeling like a star. And I actually ended up competing for Team Canada. Ginger, I cannot change these slides at all. Competing for Team Canada, there I am in my Team Canada race gear. I represented Canada twice in duathlon. I became a pro triathlete. And then once again, I looked in the mirror and I thought, something's not right. I was really tired all the time. I was dropping things, and my health just started imploding. And my doctor was like, Susan, if you keep on going the way you're going, your body is just going to stop. And I didn't listen. I pushed through. I'm a fighter. And even after he told me that, I did the Ironman in Malaysia and I finished top 10 in the pro division with a fractured pelvis, which speaks volumes about who I am. But all of that abuse on my body and living in denial eventually caught up with me. And my husband, Chris, and I, who had been living in Toronto at the time, we decided that we were going to basically move back to the small town we grew up in, Brockville, Ontario, Canada, and we were just going to live in a teeny tiny house, and you can see it here. He was going to work for an accounting firm. I was going to work for a charity, and that was going to be it. But here's the thing that happened, and this is sometimes what happens, is a massive wake-up call. And I got to a place, and I'm not proud to admit this, and it was a pretty dark place for me. And I started thinking very dark thoughts, and one of those thoughts was, I just don't want to be here. And if you're a parent, I'm just going to confess in front of 1,000 of you right now, I'm not proud of that. There I am with my little boy. He was born on the autism spectrum. I was overwhelmed. I wasn't healthy. Our little girl, she was gifted. I couldn't afford to send her to the private school that she so richly deserved to go to. And I got to the place where every day I was like, who am I? This isn't the life I signed up for. This isn't what I want. If you can relate to this, just say yes right now. There we are in our house. It was a small house. It was full of black mold. It had rodents in the walls. We had mushrooms growing in our bathroom, and not even like any kind of mushroom you would want to grow in your bathroom. And that's where we were. And it was on that day, near the time this photo was taken, that I actually got a call from a former personal training client, and she was so excited. She was like, oh my gosh, I just did a cleanse. I lost all this weight. And I would like, click, I'm not that interested, right? So if you're here and someone has told you about Isagenix a couple of times, that's where I was. Like, I just wasn't open. And the fact you're even here and you're already a few minutes in, kudos to you, because 14 years ago, I wouldn't have even stayed this long. I was just in such a dark, negative place. And what eventually happened was I made a decision to say yes to Isagenix. I started to lose body fat. My energy started to go up. I started to sleep better. And I made the decision to share Isagenix. And it's really profoundly impacted my family. So today, when I look in the mirror, sometimes I am a little tired, but I'm happy in life nonetheless. We now have 5 kids. One of our kids is adopted from Africa. I rescued her from a shelter. Our other daughter is at ASU. Our son goes to a school for kids with special different challenges. And, it's really a pretty amazing life. So with that, I want to share with you some ways in which you can change what you see in the mirror and start to impact people. Because isn't the mirror the first thing we see in the morning, the last thing we see at night? And so when I started to look at Isagenix, the first thing I fell in love with was the vision. And the vision is to impact world health and free people from physical and financial pain. And I got excited about that. That was something that could get me up in the morning. The next thing for me was really about the founders, Jim and Kathy Coover and John Anderson. I had known John Anderson before from my work in sports nutrition, and John was amazing. He was known to me as someone who had formulated some of the top formulations of the world, the protein powders. He used to work with Joe Weider, the founder of, Joe Weider, founder of Muscle and Fitness, and Joe helped design some of the first protein powders back in the 70s, and John has known Joe for years, and they formulated protein formulations together. He's worked with amazing athletes like Evander Holyfield, and there was a point in time during Ironman Triathlon Pro Racing that one of John Anderson's formulations was the product we all used, and this was before Isagenix. So when I saw John Anderson, I got so excited. I was like, you know what? I have to use this product. And so one of the ways we can change what we see in the mirror is through a health strategy. And Isagenix is a solutions-based company. So what that really means is we have solutions that can help people release body fat. We have solutions that can help people gain energy, improve their performance, and also solutions that can help with healthy aging. So I want to take a moment and go through some of our programs. And the first one is our weight loss solution. And I like to say it's a fat loss solution. I'm just going to step out and say it and call it what it is. In my former life as a nutritionist, clients would come into my office, and Martha is here. But, if, say, Martha came into my office and she was like, Susan, I need to lose weight. I'd say, great, that's great. But whatever you lose, you're going to find again. But if we start to say, we're going to release body fat, that's a whole different story. And Isagenix has the science to actually back that up and show that when people go on our program, they physically will release body fat, they'll gain muscle. And you can go to isagenixhealth.net and see all of our studies. So our first area is weight loss, but we'll call it releasing body fat. And I want to talk about a few of the products that you're seeing in this slide. So the Isagenix shake, it comes in different varieties. We have a dairy-free version, and that version has no soy, it has no gluten. It comes from rice protein and pea protein, and it's phenomenal. My kids have that one every single morning. It's also incredible because it's very high in fiber. And then our whey protein shakes come from whey protein that is cold processed. It's natural. We do not use artificial flavors, colors, or sweeteners. So as a mom, I want my kids to have the best. So this is how we start our day. We also have with our Isagenix shake higher protein varieties. So we have our Isagenix Pro. It's amazing for stubborn fat loss. If you're a person who gets hungry a lot, chances are you need more protein. That's a great one for you. But you can take any of our Isagenix shakes, add a scoop of Isopro, that's our high protein formula, and you can put it in there. And that's going to boost up the protein. It's going to make you feel fuller longer, and it's going to help you to gain more lean muscle and release more body fat. The Cleanse for Light is not just for weight loss. So let's get this straight, because some of you who are guests, you might have heard about cleansing and you're saying, Susan, I don't know if cleansing's for me. I've heard horrible things about cleansing. Well, the reality is that intermittent fasting is getting a ton of great press, and studies actually show that when we take a break from eating so much foods and filling our bodies with stuff we can't digest, that our body recovers faster. We have more energy, more clarity. So with Isagenix on our cleanse days, what you're doing is you're having the Cleanse for Life. you're having snack wafers and some other support products from Isagenix, like our natural accelerators. And then on top of that, you're drinking plenty of water. You can also have things like raw almonds, some raw veggies, half an organic apple. And you may be saying, well, Susan, that doesn't sound like enough food. Well, here's the thing I'm going to tell you. The average person out there is eating more food than they can physically digest. Do you know that your body can only handle about 600 calories at one time? And I'm sorry, I'm just going to call this out, but something like a Big Mac has about 800 calories. So every time we eat more calories than we can physically digest, it puts stress on our bodies. So by taking one cleanse day a week or a couple cleanse days every couple weeks, what that does for us is it helps to reset our body and allow our body to be the miracle that it was designed to be. So those are some of the products that come with our weight loss solution, or our fat loss, as I would say. And Ginger, I don't know if you're able to take command of the screen, but because I can't and I cannot shrink the slides, we could pause and I could take the slides and I could show them from my laptop, which would probably be better. But if you're happy to switch, and I do apologize, I don't know about anyone else, but I'll just call it out. I'm not a person who tries to be perfect. Everything I've done with technology today has been interesting, to say the least. So it's all perfect. Listen to my words. The screen is just like background noise. All right, let's talk about our next solution. So when we're talking about energy, so many people, and I believe the study is about 70% of people struggle with energy. And so what do we do in the chat box? What do we do? Thanks, Katie. I love you guys. What do we do when we're struggling with energy? What are some of the things we do? Thank you, Seth. I love you. What do we do when we are struggling with energy? Yeah, things like Red Bulls, we drink more coffee. Kat, we are lazy. We drink more coffee. We get angry, says Molly. So true. More caffeine. We take a nap. I have a question for you. When we're lacking in energy, does it make us better parents or better partners? No. It doesn't. And in fact, when our energy is low and we are not feeling good about ourselves, it affects our relationships. And I call this collateral damage. And as someone who's a certified coach, that a lot of the times when I'm speaking in front of audiences, I saw many of you in Las Vegas, one of the things we have to look at is the collateral damage, because your body is a temple. And if you're not feeling good, everyone else is affected. And today I was reading Entrepreneur Magazine's blog, and Tim Ferriss, who's just an amazing human being, one of the things he said is, if your energy isn't great and you are not prioritizing that, then your priorities are out of whack. So yay, Tim Ferriss. So let's talk about our energy solution. So one of the keys to energy is eating every 2 to 3 hours, small amounts. Studies show if you eat large amounts every 2 to 3 hours, it's actually going to make you very sluggish. So in the Isagenix way of life, you're having a couple shakes every day, or a shake in a bar, you're eating 1 to 2 meals, you're having little snacks. So you're giving your body high nutrition throughout the day. That's going to raise your energy. Now, to supplement more energy, we have different products that can help. So our E+, those are amazing. Those have adaptogens in them, and adaptogens help your body literally deal with stress. So unlike some of the other things that are out there that are just caffeine and sugar or aspartame and poison kind of artificial sweeteners, we don't use that stuff. So we have adaptogens, and then we use yerba mate, which is also an adaptogen, and green tea. So these will help to naturally boost up your energy. They're phenomenal, and they have less caffeine in them than a small Starbucks coffee, which is great. We also have our greens product. And this is one of the most underutilized products we have. And it was formulated by Dr. Tony O'Donnell. He's a dear friend of mine. So in our greens, we have things like spirulina and chlorella. Chlorophyll is the blood of plants, and chlorella helps to boost our blood. The greens are going to help to just boost up your energy naturally. And I don't know if you guys know this, but spirulina has more plant-based iron per gram than steak. So this is an amazing product. It's especially great for women. It should be either mixed in your shake, or you can mix it up with some hydrate every single day. So who's learning something right now if you're learning something about our amazing products? And so our essentials are also key. The essentials are great for people who want to boost their energy. They're great for healthy aging, but they're also great to kind of buffer stress in your body. So let's say you have a lot of life happening and you are under stress. if your body can't handle the stress you're under, you're going to wake up in the middle of the night. You're not going to sleep well. You're going to be irritable. So sometimes we can't change the stress that's going on, but we can change how our body deals with the stress. And that's why the essentials AM and PM pack are so important. So in addition to high-grade antioxidants, omega-3 and 6s, our time-release vitamin C, our women's formula, our men's formula, that's going to help your body physically stay in greater balance. And when you're in balance, your energy is much better. Isagenix also has a coffee. People do not use this enough. It has medium chain triglycerides in it. And what those are naturally occurring fats that help you lose body fat. So when I started using the Isagenix coffee, I had been at a bit of a weight plateau, and then boom, 5 pounds off. I was like, yes, thank you, God, right? So our Isagenix coffee is incredible. So an ice a day, when you're looking to boost your energy, might be the coffee in the morning, maybe an e-shot later on. You're having your greens in your shake, your vitamins, you're feeling amazing. So that's some of our energy products right there. Now, our next solution that I want to talk about is performance. Performance is not just for athletes, and I want to just break some of the misnomers right now. So as a 44-year-old woman, soon to be 45, my youngest child is 8. My oldest one is 24. She just had a baby last year. I mean, there's so much going on. And I used to be a pro athlete, but I am far from a pro athlete now. So I do hot yoga a few times a week. I do cycling classes. I have a Peloton. I'm coaching my son's cross country team. So do say prayers for me because we train in 110 degrees. I run with the boys. So I'm not an athlete anymore, but right now, but I will tell you, I do work out. So our performance line is not just for athletes. So get that out of your head. If you want to improve your workouts, you need to use this formula. So the AMP to Recover and AMP Power, those are great if you work out, 5-6 days a week. So what I do is I actually mix them together. You're going to know all my secrets now. So like tomorrow morning when I go to a hot yoga class, I'm going to be taking the AMP to Power, AMP to Recover. I'm going to be sipping on it during the class. Now the AMP to Power has 3.5 grams of creatine. And you may be looking at me and, I will tell you, I just lay it all out. When I do any of these Zooms, I have nothing to hide. If you judge me, that's okay. I'm not judging you. So I vacillate between a 4 and a 6. Ladies, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm not a big woman, and quite frankly, I'm not training for Miss Fitness. I'm not doing any stuff like that. So you might be saying, well, why should you use creatine? Well, I was on the phone with Dr. Paul Lasario a couple of weeks ago, and he sent me a bunch of new clinical studies on creatine that it actually helps with mental performance. And so we think of performance, we think of gym, muscles, but what about the muscle between it's not a muscle, but you know what I mean, between your ears. So creatine is now, science is supporting that creatine helps with your brain power. So creatine is great to help your body, preventing it from losing muscle. After the age of 25, did you guys know you lose a quarter pound to half a pound of muscle a year? Yeah, that's right. Your body starts aging at 25. So by the time we're 40, we're like, oh my gosh, I'm eating the same things that I was when I was 25, but now I have a muffin top, or I have a Canadian spare tire, or whatever it is. I have Dunlop disease, my belly Dunlop over my belt, right? So with creatine is not just for athletes, anyone who works out. So it's phenomenal. And the L-arginine in the Recover is amazing. It's just great for recovery. It's wonderful for stamina. And the thing I find personally when I take this whole configuration is I just feel more zen, but I feel powerful. And so I love it. It's great for endurance as well. So I already talked about our Isoline Pro, and I want to talk about one of our 2 secret products is our Amped NOx and our Amp Fuel. So NOx is not just for athletes. You can take up to 3 servings a day if you travel on airplanes or if you work indoors and you don't get a lot of fresh air. NOx is for you. You want to keep it in the fridge. It has beets. Beets are great for oxygenating the blood. I'm someone who travels a lot for speaking. NOx has to build up in your system. So if you know you've got an airplane ride and airplane air is horrible for you, start building up in the NOx a few days before. If you are an athlete, I recommend that you use the NOx. You can use it as a training modality, as I said, up to 3 times a day. More oxygenation to the blood is a really good thing. The Amped Fuel. Now, I've heard people say this is only for athletes. Stop. It is not for, you can say Susan Sly said it is not just for athletes. So what is Amp Fuel? It is essentially an apple sauce and date base with amino acids. So when I was a marathon runner, and I'll run marathons again. When I was a marathon runner, when I was, doing Ironmans, I used the gels and the goos and stuff like that. And a lot of them have high fructose corn syrup in them. And I'd always feel very nauseous. And I can think of some races where I literally crossed the finish line. I was like, oh, this is not good. Well, Amp Fuel is phenomenal. So you can carry it, around with you. You can have it as a little snack. It is high in carbohydrates, but it also has amino acids. So here are some times you can use it when you're working out. So if you know you're going to do a workout, even if you're going to go run a 5K and it's hot outside, just for training, you can use it then. If you're an endurance athlete, you can use it. But you can also, as I said, carry it around with you. If you are someone who middle of the afternoon, you kind of crash a little bit, that's a great time to have it. It is low in calories. I love this product. Okay. All right. Let's go to the next solution that we have. Hopefully this is some good stuff for you guys. All right. Healthy aging. So we start aging our body at age 25, don't forget that, and our brain starts rapidly aging at age 30. Oh my gosh. So all of our products are amazing to help support us to age in a more healthy way. I'm not going to grow old gracefully. I don't intend to. I want to look so good that my husband gets arrested. You guys can read between the lines on that. I've known my husband for like almost 30 years. It's crazy. No, it's 31 years. Oh my gosh, now I'm really dating myself. So our healthy aging products are vitamins, using the Ionic Supreme every day. It's amazing. Shakes to preserve the muscle, using the AMP to recover and the AMP to power. Those are all supporting healthy aging. So all of these things I'm showing you do come in packs. And so with that, we have all of these amazing solutions. And we also have our incredible IsaBody Challenge. And with our IsaBody Challenge, it's free to enter. You can enter any time of the year. There are various judging periods. And we are very blessed to have our newly minted IsaBody Challenge runner-up, Mr. Jimmy King, with us from his home in New York. And Jimmy just recently won $10,000 for his transformation. So with that, Jimmy, I would love for you to share a little bit about your journey with Isagenix and why you feel better now than you did even 10 years ago.
Absolutely, Susan. First of all, I'd like to say you're absolutely amazing and you're spot on all these products. From my standpoint, old age marked the end of my youth, and gradually your organs begin to fail, is a simple way of putting it. And at 40 years old, I won the American Drug-Free Powerlifting National Championships and set a national record in the process. And at that point, I retired and slowly began to gain weight. And by my late 50s, I had gained 10 inches around my waist, and my doctor actually warned me of a decline in my health. Well, that hit me really hard. It left me feeling hopeless, done for, less than, declining, old, depressed. And the real truth is I was really, really scared. And then my girlfriend, who's now my wife, reintroduced me to Isagenix. And you notice I said reintroduced because when she first introduced me to Isagenix, I wasn't open. But she didn't give up on me. She actually signed me in without my knowledge. So I was in Isagenix for 6 months, not even knowing I was in Isagenix. And then entered Isagenix in my life 6 months later. I released 40 pounds, the 10 inches around my waist. And at 65 years young, I have regained my youth. My doctor now tells me that with every physical, every year that I'm actually getting younger. And my wife and I are healthier than we've ever been. And everyone deserves to feel this way regardless of age. Now, the IsaBody Challenge was a wonderful tool to do this. But what you have to realize is 109,000 people entered over the last 3 challenges this last year. Of that, only 35,000 finished the IsaBody Challenge. And so from a business standpoint, the people who completed the IsaBody Challenge on average ordered 227 PV per month compared to the 117 PV per people who were not in the IsaBody Challenge. So that's potentially another cycle per month for every 9 people in your organization. So when you get that brown box, it has to come with an invitation to the IsaBody Challenge. And you got to realize this. If the explorer Ponce de Leon was alive today, he wouldn't have spent all his time running around Florida looking for the Fountain of Youth. He would have gone directly to Gilbert, Arizona, and found what he was looking for. Isagenix is redefining healthy, vibrant aging. And we're going to put the boom back in baby boomers.
I love it, Jimmy. And thank you for being such a great ambassador and such an inspiration. And I was saying to my husband, Chris, I'm like, look how good Jimmy looks. Like, you know, he's got a few years on us, but he's definitely raised the bar. And we couldn't be more proud of you. And I know you're going to be such a great ambassador this year. So thank you for taking time to be here. All right. Well, Isagenix, thank you so much, Jimmy. Isagenix has a money back, no nonsense guarantee. And we have over 50 full-time scientists, dietitians. Oh my gosh. If you love science like I do, hit up isagenixhealth.net because that's where you're going to find all of the amazing information. And, you know, for many people that, you know, they want to know, does this really work compared to what else is out there? And you can see the studies. People lost 56% more weight with Isagenix, 47% more body fat. They gained lean muscle. They lost visceral fat. That's the toxic fat. And so if you're wondering, you know, hey, is this going to be for me? Definitely check out the science. So we talked about a strategy to change what you see in the mirror, right? Because if you're looking in that mirror and you're going, okay, you know, this isn't working for me, I don't like what I see, then we have some solutions. So the first one is our value pack. You can customize this pack if you join us as a preferred customer, and we have a great news for you. There is free membership until Sunday. If you join us as a preferred customer, you can actually get this whole pack for $5.59 US or $5.99 Canadian. And think of it this way, $20 a day delivered to your door, the best nutrition on the planet. Now, our 30-day system doesn't have as many of the, you know, the products. It doesn't have the blender. It doesn't have all that good stuff you saw. But if this is more in your budget, and when you think about it, how much do you spend going to Tim Hortons or Starbucks? I mean, seriously. So this one works out to be about $10 a day, $269 US and $299 Canadian if you join as a preferred customer. So let's talk about our wealth strategies, because this is where I want to bring it home. So this amazing lady, you know, I first met her on a phone call, and she was working in a daycare. She joined Isagenix because she said, you know what, I want to use these products. And like many of you who joined Isagenix, people started noticing and they started asking you what you were doing. And you came to one of three conclusions. One was, hey, I can give these referrals to the person who introduced me. That's cool. Or I just want to make a little money and get my products paid for. Or the third one was you thought of something that was really on your heart, or maybe something keeping you up at night. Maybe it was your mortgage or whatever it was. And you thought, what if I could actually help people get healthy and build a business? And that's just what this lady has done. She's been with Isagenix just over a year. She just celebrated another recognition piece with Jim and Kathy Coover in Las Vegas. So I would love to bring out Lynn Paquette from Ottawa. Lynn, welcome.
Hi, everybody. Hope everybody's having fun.
So Lynn, let me ask you, you know, you decided to go from I'm a product user to I'm going to set some goals for myself and pay some specific bills. So why don't you share with us how you've been building your business and also some of the bills you've been able to pay and things you've been able to do with Isagenix?
Well, sorry. So I started very slow. I was a manager for about almost a year. And I went from manager, I got pushed, and I went from manager to executive in 1 week. And the goal, I had set a goal. I had vision boards all over the house. And my number one, I wanted to have my daughter's education, first semester of college paid for in that time frame, in that one run week. And I didn't think I was going to get it, and I did. And then the following morning, I got to tell her that her first semester was paid for, no issues, no questions asked. It was done.
Mm. And Lynn, so you've been able to pay your daughter's tuition. You've also been able to do some traveling. You just went to Las Vegas.
I went to Las Vegas.
I want you to share, because you know what, we have a lot of people here who are already associates, and they want to learn something they can use in their business. And whether you're a guest or an associate, Lynn, will you share with everyone how you've been using vision boards to help set your goals?
Yes, I'm actually working on one. Just 1 second, I just have to go get it.
Well, we're going to keep it real, guys, right? Like, so you're going to see Lynn's current vision board. I was actually on the phone with her earlier. She has another goal she wants to achieve. And for those of you who are in Isagenix and building business, I just wanted to make sure, I know you have these, and you know, you either have guests or no. I want to make sure you take something that you can use right now. So Lynn, I'd love for you to share a little bit about this latest vision board.
So this is the original. I'm sorry. Oh, there we are. So this is the original board that I had. You see education is on there, all of it. So this was the original one. So now it's going to be pictures that are hanging with little clips that I can actually move once I've accomplished to here. And in the pictures, it's going to be a picture of the original picture that I had set as the goal, with a picture of me in the area where I'm at, or with like with my daughter for her second semester or something like that.
Lynn, you're amazing. And I want to just read our wealth disclaimer and then ask you this question. So of course, our Isagenix income, you know, is related to the effort you put in, and we definitely do not make any guarantees. Lynn has never done network marketing before, but Lynn, your biggest month this year so far, what has that been?
Close to $4,000.
Wow, $4,000. So for those of you, Lynn, for the people who are here taking a look, what do you want to say to them if they're a little doubtful?
Believe. Just believe and have it in your dreams in front of you, what you want to do with this money, one goal at a time. Don't give up. And listen to everybody around you. Don't give up.
Oh, Lynn, thank you so much. I know you're going to get every goal on that next vision board. If Lynn has been amazing and helpful, just let her know in the chat box. So our program, you might be saying, well, how does Isagenix work? So you have three options. One is you can come in and use the products, and you are under absolutely no obligation to build a business at all. The second option is you may say, you know what, I do know some people who can benefit, and we call this you share, and you share with them, and Isagenix is going to give you a bonus, your first bonus for just sharing the products, and that is going to help to start to get your products paid for. The third thing you might say is you're like Lynn, you have a child in school. I can tell you I have 2 in college, 3 in private schools. It's expensive. And you may be like me, who came to this because you wanted to send your kids to the best schools. And to be able to be in a position, we had to make our daughter's tuition payment yesterday, to just be able to do that and not have to sweat it. That's a beautiful thing, to have all that money saved in the bank, to be able to live those goals and dreams. It's awesome. So wherever you're at, we do provide incredible training on our compensation plan. We are actually starting a big global training series next Monday night. You're all invited. We are going to train you on products and business and everything over a 10-week period. It's all free, which is amazing. So wherever you're at right now, we want to help you succeed, and we want to help you really live into your dreams. And as we mentioned, we have a free membership. So that is from now until Sunday. So I'm going to finish with this before I pass it back to Ginger. You know, you may have not, if you're a guest, you may have not heard enough tonight to make a decision. But I'm going to say to you 3 things. The first thing is, if you're in that position tomorrow where you wake up and look in the mirror and there's something you don't like that you see, I want you to get back with the person who brought you to this training. And again, I apologize. We had some technical issues. It's all perfect. But get back with them. Get your questions answered and make that decision. Maybe you're a person who came to this, you learned about the products, and you're like, you know what, Susan, I want to release body fat. I want more energy. I want to look like Jimmy King or whatever it is for you. Then just go ahead and get started. Isagenix comes with a money back guarantee. You have the ability to try the products. If something's not right, you can send them back. It's 30-day money back guarantee. Just put them in your body, because imagine this. If you order tonight, by this time next week, you could be well on your way to looking in the mirror and feeling empowered because you like what you see. And guys, I'm going to tell you something, just, direct, raw, and real. A lot of the problems in our society today are because people don't feel empowered. They feel disempowered. And Isagenix can help you get empowered. It can help bring your voice back, your confidence back. Or the third place you may be in, you may be saying, you know what, Susan, the products are for me. The business is for me. I'm in. Just get started. We'd love to train you. We would love to help you. So with that, it's been my honor and privilege. I want to go ahead and pass it back to Ginger. Again, apologize for our technical difficulties, but hey, as we say in French, c'est la vie. So with that, Ginger, it's back to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I just really quickly want to go through some events that we have coming up. But before I do that, I just want to say thank you so much, Susan, for always being here for us and supporting us and helping us grow our business. And for Lynn and Jimmy for coming on and sharing your story. I think it's so powerful to hear what people are going through. So what do we have? Fire Up Your Fall, Super Saturday Tour. You can see some dates there that we have available. So make sure you register. You can look at isagenixevents.com to be able to go in and register for one of these amazing events. We have University in Action coming up in Toronto, Ontario, September 8th to 10th. So make sure you register for that. You're going to spend a couple days with the amazing David Wood and some other leaders that we have. It's an amazing personal development experience that is just amazing. The ICU in Phoenix, bringing it home, October 5th to 7th. ICU in Minneapolis, November 2nd to 4th. And we also have, bringing it home to our world headquarters, is our New Year Kickoff 2018 from January 11th to 13th. So mark your calendars with all of these dates. And Celebration, just so you know, our early bird pricing is on for Celebration next year, which is going to be in Nashville, Tennessee, August 6th to 9th. And now till the 31st of August, you can register at an early bird price of $149. So make sure you get your ticket. This one was amazing. I can't even imagine what our events team is going to put on for next year. Thank you all for coming on this call, and I wish you so much success so we can celebrate moving forward in the future. Have a great night, everybody.